Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League, and tonight the heat is on here tonight at Phoenix as Nick and Delicato is trying to make it back-to-back here in this league, and I couldn't be more excited to be with you, ladies and gentlemen, here on 3Y TV. I am joined by my man, the guy who makes all these camera angles possible, Carlos Acosta. And Carlos, man, if week one and those duels were any indication of what tonight's race is going to be like, I cannot wait for the green flag to drop.
It's going to be very exciting for sure. Phoenix is always a challenging track, and while we see it nowadays as the season finale for the real life racing, because, you know, Homestead wasn't fun, they decided to flip it around and bring it back to number 2, where it used to be, and probably where it deserves to be. Phoenix is always a fun track to drive, and of course this is the modern Phoenix. They did attempt, or it was initially planned to run the original Phoenix, or at least the oldest one that's available on iRacing. However, those plans fell through when it seems that the track got updated beyond the satisfaction of the admins. So we are running the open dogleg, and they did give the drivers free reign to use the open dogleg. However, it's at their discretion. These cars, the underbelly is so sensitive, and that dogleg is so sharp, you might not even want to use it at all.
And you'll see it, Carlos, on those restarts, the leader is to stay above the yellow line until the start-finish line. So no going below that yellow line to get things going there on the restarts. But tonight is a special race, ladies and gentlemen, here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League, as it is our first Dash for Cash race here tonight. We have 4 drivers racing for that Dash for Cash here tonight. Of course, we have last week's winner, Nick and Delicato, racing for it. We got Seth Rawls. We all know how Seth can do on these super speedways. We got Logan Savalsky racing for it, as well as Andrew Hess. And Carlos, before this green flag drops here, as we're watching practice ensue, which one of those 4 drivers do you think is going to come home with that cold hard cash here tonight?
It's hard to say. The only one I'm really mostly familiar with is Nick and Delicato, so I can't really, you know, give an educated guess. So I'm gonna go with the person I actually know, Nick and Delicato.
Right, and of course we have 2 backups in this situation as well, but I believe all 4 drivers are in the race here tonight. If I had to pick a driver myself, I would go with Seth Rawls. Seth Rawls I know from the Virtual Racing Association racing in that league and the modifieds. But looking back on last week here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League, he ran really good at Daytona in the full-length race as well as the duels. Comes in 2nd here tonight in that series, 5th in the overall point standings as well. So he's my pick here tonight to take home that cold hard cash, and we cannot wait to get things started here at Phoenix.
Yeah, and I want to apologize to Seth Rawls. I actually do know Seth Rawls as well. I just completely blanked when you were giving the names, and I didn't hear the other 3. So my apologies, Seth. But because we've already chosen, we're going to go with our picks. So I do know Seth. I know him.
Of course. And tonight's Dash for Cash Chase Standings update is brought to you by Davis Warren. If you are interested in tickets to a NASCAR race at Darlington, Martinsville, or Richmond, contact Davis Warren at cwarren@nascar.com. He will hook you up with some tickets to a race. It has been a while for me since I've been to a race, Carlos, but if you can pick any track to go to, those 3 tracks are some of the most exciting on the circuit.
Well said. I've only ever been to 2 2 real life tracks, and they've been Daytona and Homestead.
Yeah, yes, I've been to Daytona and Charlotte were the only 2 I've been to. So, of course, I grew up right outside of Charlotte, and then now living in Florida, I had to go to Daytona 500, and I went when Joey Logano won. I believe it was 2016. I think it was the year he won it. So, nice. What an experience that was here tonight, Carlos. But none of this would be possible here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League if it wasn't for our wonderful sponsors, Manor Rays, Cemetery Maintenance, and Commercial Residential Landscaping. One of the best sponsors we have here in this league, as well as Pro Air, which we mistakenly thought was an air conditioning company last week, Carlos.
You keep on saying it was me.
It's a medical supply and equipment company, and all this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for them. So a big special shout out for them, as we're seeing qualifying now taking place on the course here, Carlos, and how important it is to lay down a good lap here at Phoenix.
I would say it's usually important in a lot of places and in a lot of leagues, but in this league, it's even more important because if you qualify in the top 10, excuse me, I had a hiccup. If you qualify in the top 10, you get an additional bonus point.
Ooh.
Hold on, do that again.
Ooh. There we go. Raise the roof up here. That's perfect, Carlos. And we all know how important these points are going down into the middle pack of this season here. There's a lot of tough courses that we're going to hit here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. So as well as these drivers having full-time jobs, majority of them, or just life happens sometimes, Carlos, and you have to miss a race or you don't have a good race, those points really come in handy if you have to sneak into those chase playoffs there at the end.
Well said indeed. This league has really a bunch of chances and opportunities for drivers to get bonus points throughout the race, aside from just the usual leading a lap or winning a stage. Because remember, these guys do have stages. However, there are no cautions in between. You have the clean race bonus. You have the qualifying the top 10. Classic winner race one. I think I'm missing a couple more. I'm gonna try to pull up my rules here. Do you know if I'm missing one?
No, I think you've got it there, Carlos.
Here we go. Yeah. Incident free race, lap sled, most lap sled, fastest lap. That's one I forgot to mention. Top 10 in qualifying, and actually no, that was it. Yeah. Aside from the extra points, they're not actually bonus points. They're just additional points you get for finishing the top 10 in a stage. And of course, if you win a stage, you do get a playoff point as well as 10 regular season points.
Oof. So a lot to race for throughout the race as well as qualifying there, Carlos. And you touched on the stages here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll run a first stage of 30 laps. Second stage will be 60 laps for a total of 150 there at the end.
They're both 30 laps.
Oh, both 30 laps. We have a change on that, Carlos. Both 30 laps segments, and then we'll run another, I believe, 70 to end things out or so.
I think it's 80, isn't it? Because 75
80, yep.
plus 75 is 100. Sorry, is 150.
Yeah.
And it's lap 30. Yes, I see you. I see what you're doing. He knows what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about. I can't. Hold on. I'm gonna stay quiet.
Now has the pole position. There we go.
Yeah, there was no audio when I was doing that, unfortunately. But yeah, no, it's. What was I saying before I got rudely interrupted? Yes, 30 laps first stage, an additional 30 laps to lap 60, and from there you have until the end of the race. Remember, these are all. There are no cautions at any point.
Right. So we saw that last week. Even though you get a stage win, you get those bonus points added to your total there, but the race does not stop. You keep racing this thing out. And Carlos, at a track like Phoenix here tonight, these tires are really going to come into play. Ladies and gentlemen, they get one set on the race car to start the race and then 3 in the garage. We have a 75% fuel limit here tonight as well. And Carlos, just taking a look at the things that are going on the track so far here tonight, I really think, in my opinion, pit strategy is going to come into a big play here at the end.
I agree. I remember the fuel was a little less than we initially estimated it to be for the duels and for the 500, or excuse me, the 250. So I'm gonna kind of like hold back on what I think the fuel laps are gonna be, because we might be surprised. But I expect pit roads. This is a talented group of drivers. Of course, there are some new drivers in this, but it's still overall talented. I do expect there to be a pretty decent green flag run. But let's get on and let's go over the qualifying results and see who the top 10 bonus point drivers are. So let's put up the music and pull up that grid.
Let's do it, Carlos, and hopefully I get everybody's name right here tonight. Taking a look at that starting lineup here. There we go. We'll get it all ready for you here. Looks like Robinson's going to roll off at the pole position here, Carlos. A name that we haven't really called out a lot here at the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League is going to roll off number 1. Number 2 is going to be Zach Roethlisberger. Number 3 is going to be Sam Brochu. Number 4, it's going to be Min Hang. Got his name right this week as well. You got Brian Lozano coming off P5.
Yeah,
Johnny
such a good
Eckert.
run.
Yeah, I did. I really did. I'll get it down, though. Johnny Eckert, who's coming off a win last night in a different series, is going to roll off P6. Nick Indelicato is going to roll off P7. Logan Savowski, one of those Dash for Cash drivers here tonight, is going to roll off P8. Tom Ogle, yeah, I got it, is going to roll off P9. Barrett is going to roll off P10. Neither one of us can get that one there, Carlos.
Yeah, and those are all those top 10 drivers in qualifying each earned 1 bonus point already to start off the race. Barrett, excuse me, no, we already said that. Damien Leininger is in 11th. Kevin Strandberg in 12th. 13th is going to be Matthew Greathouse with Davis Warren in 14th. Andrew Hess, Ryan Hyatt is going to be 15th and 16th. In 17th, Ryan Mitchell and Zach Evans, who we may be getting an onboard look here a little bit later in the race, is qualifying in 18th. 19th is Adam Tepe, Matt Brewer in 20th.
I'm having a little bit of a delay on my screen here, Carlos.
I never even adjusted it on my end. I do apologize to you and to the viewers. I'll just finish off the rest. In 21st, David Westergreen. And, it looks like the results got muddled up for me as well. I do apologize. Once the drivers get on track, all chaos breaks loose.
It's all right, Carlos. It must be the heat here at Phoenix. It's getting to everybody.
And the heat is on. That's it.
And boy, we are out in the desert here at Phoenix. We'll get that lineup all shaken up for you so you know exactly what's going on the track. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The pace car is off of the pack. Things are about to get hot and heavy here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League, as Josh Robinson is going to take them to the start-finish line to kick off week number 2 here, as the green flag is in the air as they're coming around the last corner here to the start-finish line. Here we go. Green flag is in the air as Zach Robinson is going to take them down into corner number 1.
No problem, already going down the dogleg. I'm not seeing anybody risk their car right off the bat as they're going down into actual turn number 1 and 2 as, we had a wreck already.
Oh, man. It looks like
24.
that's the
Rich
24.
Allen.
Yeah. Grayson looks like in that back of the pack there, just maybe got caught up there on that corner. It's going to be a tricky corner throughout tonight's race. Right there, digging down into 1. Ooh, man. Just a rough way to start things out here.
Yeah, nothing too serious.
Was settled last week during that Daytona 250. The top 4 drivers of that race qualified for that, and that's going to be going out throughout tonight or throughout the season here, ladies and gentlemen. So you'll see a few of these Dash for Cash races pop up throughout. So we'll get a chance to speak with that winner at the end, as well as the first and second place finishers of tonight's race as well. Might be one of the Dash for Cash winners, but the pace car has now pulled off of that lead pack as we're coming around the last corner to the start-finish line here. It's going to be Zach Roethlisberger leading them to the line here to get things jumping off once again here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League, as Zach Roethlisberger is going to take him across the start-finish line down into 1 on this brand new restart on lap number 5.
Remember, these drivers are using iRacing's brand new restart zone, so that's why you don't see any of them going already in the back stretches. Now they're on the zone, and you see Zach Roethlisberger hitting the gas just a little bit past halfway in the restart.
Go, and a good restart it was there, Carlos, on the inside. But you see coming off of that corner, they get very wide and then have to bottleneck to hit the next corner here. As Roethlisberger has separated himself from that second place position just a little bit. Of Min Hang right behind him. Min Hang's wasting no time of getting back on that back bumper of Zach Roethlisberger there. Min Hang has been one of the most consistent drivers we've seen throughout here tonight. Just hasn't qualified for that Dash for Cash just yet, but definitely one of the most consistent drivers on this circuit so far. He's got himself up in the second position. But Johnny Eckert has worked up into the third position as well. Man, a fast corner, almost too fast as he came very close to that wall there, almost brushing that side panel onto that blue wall. It's going to cost him a lot of speed to have to slow down that race car. As you see now, Zach Roethlisberger and Min Hang have separated themselves around the corner here on lap 7. Coming around the corner there, hitting that start-finish line there. It's going to be Zach Roethlisberger leading him down into 1 once again. Min Hang as well right behind him. Johnny Eckert in third. Sam Broshew's in the 4th position. and Josh Robinson in the 5th. And Carlos, our pole sitter, Josh Robinson, is starting to fade just a little bit.
Maybe it could be Josh Robinson trying to save some tires already to begin with, or it could just be maybe just the start and the restart getting the better of Josh for the time being. But right now, Josh has dropped down to 4th. Everything else appears to kind of be staying alive. But the drivers, they're not shy about using that dog leg anymore. They're not dipping. They're not afraid about dipping their toes as a 21. Oh, he tried to use that Kevin Harvick line down below the white line, and it bit him a little too much. Gave it just too much beans exiting the corner. His day is not done, but there is some damage there now.
That's that blacked out machine right there, looking like Johnny Cash out on the racetrack there. I'm not going to sing tonight for the folks at home there, Carlos. I didn't get very rave reviews last time I did that. But we'll take a look at the replay here at 3Wide TV. See the 21 right there hit the apron. And boy, when you hit that apron, Carlos, it's like you're trying to drive on ice.
Yeah, it's a little strange to understand. He was aiming for the apron, obviously, and I guess the tires were just not hot enough, it seems, or the tire pressures were too low, and it was too much for that car to take.
Would it have been when he hit the apron there and he was trying to exit the corner? Maybe he got on the gas just a little bit too much, and that car started to get sideways on him.
Let's go on board. Let's listen in. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, now that you mention it, I don't necessarily think now that he was aiming for the apron. He probably just dipped a little too low, and as soon as it got around, he maybe tried to battle it, give it a little more gas, but it didn't work out for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, and these next-gen cars, even the pros are having difficulty still driving these things, so I can only imagine how it is on the simulator here, Carlos. I want to let everybody know that's at home watching here on YouTube and 3Wide TV. We do have those technical difficulties worked out for you. We're up and running once again on YouTube. So if you want to jump back over there and tune back in on YouTube, we have that all fixed and ready to rock and roll for you. Not much change in the lead so far yet, Carlos, as Zach Roethlisberger wasted no time on lap 1 to overtake Josh Robinson. Hasn't relinquished that just yet, as Min hangs right there as well. And Johnny Eckert's trying to continue that hot streak this week.
We also have a driver here in the infield care center. Unfortunately, an early exit for Nick Monticelli, but I believe you caught up with him.
Yeah, Nick, early exit for you here at Phoenix, man. It's been a chaotic race that started out so far. We have 2 cautions on lap 12. Take us through what ended your night so early.
Well, I was in the back. I've been having wheel issues all day, and I wasn't exactly sure what was causing it. It's a whole myriad of issues. You know, sometimes my wheel disconnects, sometimes the force feedback would act funky, but in this case, as I was going off into the last couple corners there at Phoenix, and on lap 7, my wheel just disconnected right at the end of the straight, and I plowed the wall at 129, so...
Oof. That never feels good. Well, we hope you're okay up here in the 3Wide TV booth. For what you've seen so far, your night's unfortunately over here tonight, but what you've seen so far, what do you think it's going to take from one of these drivers to take home the victory here at Phoenix?
I think based on how the car drives, it's going to be a really managing the understeer, because it's very understeery on the track tonight. I've been struggling really hard to get the car to turn at all, so...
Yeah, steering's definitely going to be the name of the game here tonight, as well as tires. But looking forward to next week, Nick, how confident are you heading into the next track, and what do you think of the league so far this year?
I'm loving the league. I'm not too confident, as I'm not very great with the next-gen cars, but, you know, we're here, we're all learning, so...
Gotcha, man. Well, we're glad you're okay there in the infield care center. It's a bummer that your night's ended so early, but we appreciate you taking the time with us here, man, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
As you see, they're hitting that restart zone here as Zach Roethlisberger is going to lead them around very slow, creeping up there. Carlos still trying to figure out where that restart zone is exactly here at Phoenix. It's very different as we're creeping up on that corner here. See Zach Roethlisberger on the inside, Minhang on the outside. And there we go, starting to get on the gas pedal just a little bit there. Zach Roethlisberger is just trying to time it right there at the Geico sign. There we go. up on the gas, going to cross that start-finish line down into one. A big move out of Johnny Eckert there. He's going to go way to the inside there, trying to make it around there, using a rallycross move to try to pass Min Heng, and he does on the corner. Now he's up to second position already, trying to put it on Zach Roethlisberger right now as he goes around the corner there to the backstretch. Coming around to 3 and 4 right now, and he's wasted no time as well in that beautiful Ford Mustang.
Caution. I'm not seeing what the caution is for, though.
No.
I'm being told Matt Brewer, Rich Allen, and Logan Slabowski may have been involved.
Yeah, didn't see anything on the track either, but we'll get that replay revved up for you here at 3Y TV.
Oh my.
See what? Oh, goodness gracious. Big contact out of the 21, the 26, and the 24 there on the backstretch. And Logan Savowski is one of those Dash for Cash drivers there, Carlos. Oh, man, it looks like the 26 just got a little squirrely coming out of the corner there and just lost control of that thing. Unfortunately, the 21 of Logan Savowski was right there, just couldn't get out of the way.
Ooh, yeah, indeed. It just looks like the Matt Brewer may have just given it too much direction in the corner, tried to fight it, and unfortunately did the old tight loose, and it just overcorrected up into the outside wall, or I should say the snap loose, as it just went straight up there, and really nothing else you can do. Unfortunately, if we take a look at Logan's car, you might see what I am seeing here.
A little bit of a skirt action coming out of the corner there for the 26. Just trying to save that race car.
Get that John Madden impression going, because that tire is donezo.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for that 21 race car. And as Booger McFarland says, since his night is over, his race is over. But taking a look there, Carlos, it's wild that that just happened on the track as our guests in the booth, they're just coming out of the infield care center there after making a hard impact on the wall. I asked him what he thought was going to be the key to victory here tonight would be the steering. We just saw the 26 get loose out of the corner and hit the wall. We're already seeing what he was meaning by the steering aspect of tonight's race. And man, Carlos, we have 3 cautions on lap 17. We knew this was going to be a bizarro race heading into Phoenix here tonight. But did you expect this sort of pace and this sort of action so early?
I honestly did not. I expected there to be a brief green flag run here to start the race before a caution would even occur. Unfortunately, this race has already gotten its 3rd caution and 17 laps in, as we are 1 to green at this point. But yeah, you got to also take a look at the new car. It's a different steering system. So the steering doesn't necessarily feel, or the driver doesn't feel as connected to steering as they used to. So that's something these drivers have to adjust. And I do think we're going to have a green flag run before this race is over, though.
Talking about green flags, we're coming up to that Geico restart zone here. Johnny Eckert on the inside, Roethlisberger on the outside. They're almost touching doors heading up into that restart zone. We'll see who gets the jump right now. Zach Roethlisberger uses that draft on the side of the Johnny Eckert to get that jump to cross the start-finish line, but Johnny Eckert goes for that rally cross pass once again. There's a swing up the track. Just doesn't have enough to get around Zach Roethlisberger, but still holds that momentum to hold on to 2nd place as Min Hong's right behind them, as well as Nick Indelicato. Nick is one of those Dash for Cash drivers, and he makes a big pass on Min Heng to come up into 3rd right now, trying to get around Johnny Eckert in the 2nd position as they go around the corner, but Min Heng's right onto the inside. Min Heng is right there. They make contact just briefly across the start-finish line. Min Heng's just trying to get it around. We do have a driver. Oh, no, watch out. Oh, no. Oh, man, the 35. We saw him out of the corner of your screen, make contact with the wall, bounced up, and as the NASCAR Thunder days that we've all enjoyed, goes right back up into the pack and takes out a few other drivers with him. Man, what an unfortunate incident there on the track.
I saw him trying to do everything he could to kind of keep it down low and get it recovered, but unfortunately tried to avoid that inside wall. It was just too much of a momentum shift, and there was no way he can get that car well down in time to avoid creating that huge pile there.
Wow, what an incident there, Carlos. And
It's
you
the
see the 35.
it's a dog leg, and it's something that was warned to the drivers. The admins knew that there would be a wreck because of this tonight, and we've already seen the first one. And what a big wreck it's been.
As a driver, too, you have to feel so bad because you know that was your own mistake, and you tried everything you could to save that race car. And once you start heading back up into that track, you just know you're gonna end some people's day. Oh man, and all you can do is apologize. Oh man, that is not the way to go. What an unfortunate incident there.
That's one of those moments you just want to stay quiet and hope that nobody sees you.
Right, exactly. You just want to go ahead and park that race car, hop on out, and be like, okay, yep, all right, see you later. Yep. As we see it, Carlos, you have to do a John Madden impression with the illustrator there, because the way you're working that pen, man, it's like John Madden Jr. over here.
Oh man. Oh man. Well, what a shame. I already had a couple of teammates unfortunately knock themselves out, or get knocked out, I should say. But I really was not expecting this amount of I wouldn't call it carnage quite yet, but this amount of incidents this early on into the race. I'm sure the admins are probably not going to be too happy about that. Of course, I'm sure they'll be happy if they go green the rest of the way, but already with stage 1 nearly over, as we're probably going to have one more attempt at running a green flag before the stage ends here. And you know, if we get another quick caution, then it could just be Roethlisberger's stage to win, his stage point.
Yeah, taking a look at that right there, Carlos, and man, Zach really came on strong during the duels at Daytona. As I mentioned, just wasn't his race in the main event, the Daytona 250. But I have to say that Zach and Min Heng are, some of the most consistent drivers we've seen so far. This is technically week 3, week 2 officially in the regular season. But those drivers have really stood out above the rest, especially in Min Heng. Min Heng has really put forth an excellent effort, whether it was at Daytona. You know, he's a backup driver for the Dash for Cash, so just finished just outside of that cut line there for the top 4 drivers. But really, you see it here tonight. You know, he's trying to get around Johnny Eckert. He got around him. Johnny Eckert's up there as well. I mean, it's just really competitive up here at the top. But we have drivers that are going to start creeping up that grid as well, as we saw last week, Carlos. Some of the drivers that finished inside of the top 10 were outside of the top 10 for the majority of the race. So anything can really happen here. I'd say the competition level in this league is pretty good.
All right. Well, we see Logan Savosky is entered the Infinite Care Center. I think we're going to catch up with him. Of course, you're going to be talking to him as the drivers go green. So don't worry about that. Just keep on talking. And I see also David Westergreen has entered the Infinite Care Center.
Yeah, Zach Roethlisberger is going to lead them down the backstretch down into the Geico Restart zone. We got Logan on the radio. And Logan, you're just now exiting the Infield Care Center, man. It's been a rough night for you. Your night's unfortunately over, and so is your Dash for Cash ability as well. But man, take us through what ended your night so early and what makes Phoenix such a difficult track.
You know, I came in here kind of excited about it. I'm a big fan of Phoenix, and you know, I haven't really raced it in this car. It's kind of a different car, especially with the steering and the rack pinion. Nothing really to lean on. It's such a symmetrical car. But practice, I thought I was okay. I thought I was going to be able to finish in the top 10. But you saw early there in the race, we spun ourselves out, put ourselves to the back. I'm glad I didn't collect anybody, you know. I think I had that skill not to collect anybody and overcorrect. But yeah, putting ourselves in the back while spinning ourselves was ultimately what ended our night. Being caught up in some people's, you know...
Wrecking it back.
No, we got a big wreck on the track as we're speaking with Logan Savowski here. His night unfortunately ended. We have another caution on the track here, our 5th caution on lap 25. We still have Logan with us here. And
yeah, just keep
Logan,
on talking.
as we get things filed out here to see what happened on this replay, I wanted to ask you as well, you headed into tonight with the points lead. You were 3rd for the Dash for Cash. You're probably just mathematically not going to be in that points lead heading into week 3. Does this hurt your confidence at all, seeing as though you had a rough night here tonight, or as you mentioned, maybe it was just unfortunate the way you started this race off that may have cost it for you?
Yeah, I just think it was an unfortunate circumstance tonight. It doesn't deter the confidence at all. We're only in race 2. Going to be a long season. I think the competition is great out there, and I think some of these guys that are more at the back of the pack, how you see all these cautions going on right now. You said lap 25, we already have 5 cautions. I feel like, that's going to kind of start to weed itself out as the season goes on, and there's some good tracks for us coming up. I'm excited to get to Vegas and Auto Club and finish off this West Coast swing before we come back to Martinsville.
Yeah, I think everybody is excited to go to Vegas, me especially, but Logan, I'm glad you're okay. Rough night for you, man. Unfortunate way to kick off sort of a hot streak you had going on here with these consistent races you had going so far, but can't wait to see what that 21 machine has in store for us next week, and I'm sure you'll continue that. Might not be in the points lead next week, but I'm sure you'll get that crown back after next week, man. So we appreciate you here taking the time with us.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
That was Logan Stavowski. Yep. And now we got David Westergreen in the booth with us. And David, another unfortunate incident for you as well. Your night ended early here tonight, but it looks like it's ending early for a lot of drivers here tonight as we have 5 cautions on lap 27. Take us through what led to your early exit in tonight's race and what makes this track so difficult.
It's one-headedness, I think, at this point. Guys kind of trying to use that apron transition without being sure of it, and that's a teammate just made a mistake going down there. He was just following the guy in front of him, and it jumped out from under him, and he got sucked up in front of the field. But I just think it's really funny, and I wanted to come say that he got all of my team there. South Shore Racing's running 4 cars in this race, and he hit 3 of them with that with that one spin, Adam and Damien, and then me. So Vince is our last bullet out there. We'll see if he can go get him. He's pretty fast, I think. But Vince had just led me to the top lane, so I had committed to the top there through back straightaway, and I was going to run the top in 3 and 4, and all of a sudden someone's sliding up towards the top. So
that was his final destination moment.
Yeah, I just got absolutely destroyed. I've run about 10 races in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I've been wrecked in every single race, so I'm just on this horrid string. I mean, last week I didn't come to the booth. I was kind of mad, but got wrecked coming to pit road too, so it's for no reason at all. There's just these dumb things that are happening, taking us out of it, and I'm so far down in the points now that it doesn't even matter. So I guess we'll just go see about winning next week, and I appreciate Johnny and DJ and Zach for running this thing, but they might need to make some roster cuts here at some point.
It's sort of like the NFL preseason here. You got to start cutting some guys off the team, I suppose. But
hey, they're working. They're working hard. So those guys are the best. And shout out to Carlos. He runs with South Shore Racing on Thursdays.
Oh, there we go. So he's gonna get a little bit of the inside scoop of exactly how that 35 car feels there from that incident. We were talking about maybe just hopping out of the car and running to the trailer as fast as you can, knowing how you took out 3 of your teammates there, but. David, it's a long season, nevertheless. You've been running here pretty good. I mean, it's been a struggle here for a lot of these drivers, but it's a long season, so I'm sure you'll bounce back from this, and I can't wait to speak with you next week and seeing what you have in store here on 3Y TV.
And I really want to be like top 3 at the end of the race, so we'll see you guys.
All right, well, the pace car is off, and right before us, we're about to go green. With 2 laps to go. Well, actually, this is going to be the last lap of stage number 1. So whoever finishes this one here in first is going to get that stage win and the bonus point. It looks like it's going to be Seth Roethlisberger. Johnny Eckert in second. Ming Hong third. Megan Delicado fourth. Ming Hong making a move on the outside to possibly get that. Not going to be enough there as we enter the back stretch, which used to be the front stretch. Going down one last time here into 3 and 4. A little contact possibly, but no. Well, actually, yeah, Ming Hong did get second there from Johnny Eckert. Johnny Eckert got third. Nick and Delicado got fourth. As Zach will take over while I go ahead and update here. So who got the stage win?
Yeah, Seth Roethlisberger is going to get that stage win right there, and he's starting to separate himself from Ming Hang right behind him as well. Johnny Eckert in that 3rd position is trying to stay right on the back bumper of Ming Hang. Everybody's trying to catch up to Zach Roethlisberger, who's now leading the race right now. Across that start-finish line on lap 32. Right behind them, we have last week's winner of Nick Indelicato trying to work his way up there as well. But on a track like this, ladies and gentlemen, you really got to start hitting those corners as consistently as possible, because you can carry a lot of momentum around these corners if you're not careful. We have another caution on the track here, ladies and gentlemen. Our sixth caution of the night here on lap 32. The caution flag is out on the track. The cars are slowing down once again. We'll get that replay ready for you here live on 3Y TV on YouTube. Oh, and it was just incidental contact coming out of the corner.
Oh no, Zach Evans, our in-race reporter. Looks like we may not be getting an in-car camera of him tonight, unless he hops into the infield care center. Then we might pop his camera on here. But he got a hard hit, as it looks like Fred Anderson maybe. That's weird. He got loose in a weird place and then just barely clipped the Me Fine car. And that Me Fine car is now hashtag Me No Fine.
No, Me No Fine, not at all there, Carlos, as he takes a hard impact on that outside wall there. Just incidentally just gets caught up. Tries to avoid it, and it just wasn't enough. Takes that nose to the back fender, and it's right into that top side wall. And it's hashtag Me No Fine right up into that top side wall. And unfortunately, that car is Me No destroyed, going to the scrapyard the way it
don't
took
you mean
that
me
impact.
destroyed?
That's true, Carlos. That's true. But man, that's unfortunate there for Zach Evans. As you said, our in-car reporter there just takes a hard impact on the outside wall.
So there is two things I do want to mention. But let's mention the first thing first, which doesn't really have to relate with this first incident. Has to relate with the last two incidents that we've seen. And I took a gander. At the race notes that were provided to all the drivers and media. And in the race notes, the last thing, the second and last thing that gets mentioned is, with the dogleg being kept open, any incidents caused by a driver cutting the dogleg, either by an unsafe merger or an incident with a car leaving pit road, may result in a penalty. So we may have something extra coming in here after the race is done within the next day or so. So keep an eye out for any of those drivers that may have been involved in an incident. The other thing is, it was mentioned to me last week that we saw we saw a driver up on the outside line just lose it for seemingly no reason. I chalked it up to maybe getting behind on the steering. But I was told that these cars have a tendency to just snap loose when you're running the outside line, and I just assumed it was a Daytona only thing or a Talladega and Daytona only thing, but I just think we saw that same exact thing right here with this last incident.
Yeah, Carlos, that was a great point there, and I gotta say, this pace of action for some of these drivers has to be a little bit frustrating. You start getting going, you start getting that groove in the green flag, and all of a sudden another caution, then you start going again, and then bang, another caution. And for a lot of drivers that are up here in this lead pack, it's really nothing to affect them, as you see really no change there in the top. I'd say 7 or 8 drivers. It's really been the same guys up there at the top. But man, Carlos, it has to be difficult to start getting that momentum, start feeling that confidence, having to stop every couple of laps.
Yeah, it's kind of like just the challenges of just constantly going and stopping. You're wasting a lot of fuel, and for runners, that's like the last thing you want to do.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to stop and go. There's no Red Rover. It's time to get this race moving here tonight, as Zach Roethlisberger is on the inside. Min Hang's on the outside. Zach Roethlisberger was stage number 1 winner, as we're creeping up to that Geico Restart Zone, hashtag TLC here. We love to creep here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League, as Zach Roethlisberger gets a huge restart going down into 1. Min Hang's trying to stay right there. Johnny Eckert loves using that rally cross cut through right on the corner. As you see him on the outside, him and Min Heng are now drag racing for second place. But once again, Zach Roethlisberger starting to pull away from that pack, Carlos.
Yeah, Johnny Eckert struggled on that last restart run, lost a couple spots, especially at the end when he was making his when he was finishing stage 1. And then this time by though, it looks like he is back to his top-notch form, is able to get back up into second place, and we'll see how he lasts after a couple laps. And you know, ever since those 2 incidents we had with the dog leg, it's kind of settled down a bit, seeing all these drivers taking a dog leg. I still see some of them doing it, but they're aware now that they're not as easy as you would see with the old stock cars that were running around here last year.
Yeah, Carlos, and I like to call it the rally cross cut through there. And as you see, Johnny Eckert's way up on the top side wall there, scrapes the wall just a little bit. It's going to lose a lot of speed there. As you see, the car's following up behind him, trying to get it around. Johnny's still trying to hold on to position as Min Heng's going to go to the inside to try to get around him. But we saw that car go way up to the top side wall right there, Carlos. He is riding a fine line. Maybe something going wrong with that race car. He's just trying to hold on to that thing as you see him come really close to that top side wall there on each of the corners. Might be that steering giving away on him there, Carlos.
It's possible that Johnny, the way he's attacking the corners, or I should say attacking the track, he could have a very short run car, or he could have a very long run car, but it's just overly aggressive in initial restart zones. So it's very shocking to see Johnny dropping back, just in general, just seeing him just losing spots. It's something that not everybody gets to see every single day.
No, and you saw Johnny Eckert running one heck of a race, start things off here tonight, but it looks like he is fighting that machine just a little bit. But that is exactly what Zach Roethlisberger wants to see up there in the lead, as he is having an easy Sunday morning cruising around Phoenix here tonight. There's no heat in that race car here this afternoon. He's just loving life. It's a cool breeze for him all by himself up there at the top. As you see, Min Heng's right there as well. Min Heng has been able to hold on to that second position majority of the race, holding off Johnny Eckert out there as well. But here comes Nick Indelicato trying to put his name into the mix there in that Ford machine, last week's winner, and a driver for the Dash for Cash here tonight on lap 43. Trying to get himself some points here tonight as well. Taking a look at that Dash for Cash, Carlos, he is the top driver right now, as we have Nick Indelicato in third position, Seth Rawls down in the ninth, Andrew Hess down in, I believe, 12th position. So Nick has a few drivers between him and the second position there for the Dash for Cash.
Yeah, so we've already seen a couple drivers already getting involved early on. We saw 21 whose chances are already done. So it's really just these 3 drivers that have a chance, and thankfully all of them appear to be fine and clean and have no damage. But of course, as we continue to go on later in the run, that might change. Let's hope that doesn't, though. We got ourselves a nice little green flag run, I'm noticing. Zach Roethlisberger still holding on to a nice fine lead of 0.67 tenths of a second, 6.4 at this point. Min Heng in second, pulling away. Those 2 drivers are pulling away from the rest of the pack as Lorenzo and Indelicato are battling side by side. As Indelicato's got a pretty fast foot there, I can tell. As I want to see if he has anything for these leaders, if he can get past the number 77 Lorenzo.
Yeah, taking a look here as Nick Indelicato.
No caution.
No, we have a slow car on the racetrack. No caution just yet, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like it was just a single car incident. One car slowed up on the track.
I couldn't quite see who that was.
I believe we're looking at... it was Sam Brochu there. May have just slowed up on the track. I see him down in the 25th position right there, Carlos. Able to get that thing back up and running here. Right now, Nick Indelicato is giving up that position for third and slipped down into the 4th position. That 77 has overtaken for third. And Carlos, as we have this green flag run going here, one question I wanted to ask you, as you might have a little bit more experience at Phoenix than I do. We're coming from Daytona, where you could really use that tandem track.
Eckert's in pit road.
Yeah, We noticed it there, Carlos. We thought there might have been an issue with that race car, as you saw him really trying to steer that thing as hard as he could. He was making contact with that topside wall there, losing a lot of positions. I believe he dropped down to about 6th or 7th after battling for that 2nd position. So there might be a mechanical issue wrong with Johnny Eckert's race car.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense as to why he go down pit road unless it's an unexpected stop. Like I know we undersold or we oversold the fuel capacities in Daytona, but I don't think we were that egregious with their fuel numbers.
No, and one conspiracy theory I would have up here, as steering has been an issue, it could have been something with his wheel on the simulator, which caused him to make contact with that topside wall, which inadvertently put damage on that race car that he had to address.
Oh no! Caution's gonna come out.
Oh. And
That
the
could've been a lot
95
worse.
and that Red Bull racing car had a few wings pop out there, as you saw that thing go sideways on the exit of the corner. Wasn't expecting those Red Bull to give him wings just yet. As again, it's an apron issue there, Carlos. You see those tires briefly hit that ice, and man, he just looks like a figure skater go track there, just a little sideways after he touches that ice, and just there's no saving that race car after that. But as you said, Carlos, a great job of making sure nobody really made severe contact with him. Good save there from that purple race car as well.
I don't know if you saw
Carlos.
that blue and white pinstriped machine, or at least the pinstripes in the front of that car, as that is the last remaining South Shore Racing driver, and he almost got involved in that incident. Thankfully, it
He
didn't
said, no,
happen.
not me too.
Yeah. See it slowing down right here. The last remaining South Shore Racing, I think he did. Yeah, there's some definite contact there. Yeah, that's not. I don't do it as good as Madden does.
Feeling
But,
like Tom Hanks in Castaway there. He is the last person standing. But he made sure to avoid that accident to keep that race car out there for his team. Man, Carlos, that was a pretty good run we had there for green flag laps.
We actually
as
have a
we're on
bunch of
lap-
drivers down Pier Road. Min Hong, Brian Lorenzo, Delicado, Pohemus, Robinson. A couple drivers also staying on, including Roethlisberger, Greathouse, Warren, Cooper, Isabella, Marabello. So definitely mixed bags, it seems.
Yeah, Carlos, and I was just about to say on lap 51, we should see some pit stops here under caution. This is the 7th caution of the race so far, ladies and gentlemen, on lap 52. Carlos, I know you love pit stops, so I didn't get a chance to ask you last in the Daytona 50, but how important are these pit stops here, and what do you think the drivers are going to do right now on these first rounds of pit stops?
I don't think important is not the right word. I would say how critical, how challenging it is. Because you can probably make a couple mistakes here. It's not going to be the end of the world compared to green flag pit stops at a track like Daytona or Talladega. The only real challenge in here, or I should say, the only main course of concern that you really have to pay attention to is merging back out on track during green flag stops. But the way this is going, it may not happen, as we have less than 8 laps to go once we cross the line before this stage is over. The main course of concern, merging back on track. You can afford to make a mistake here too, and it's not going to fully cost your race unless you're the race leader going down pit road on the actual last stop and you blow by your stall. That would be embarrassing, and it would probably cost your race, but it's not going to cost you that much or that many spots, I should say. So that's something that they got to keep an eye out for. But low speeds, you already have big heavy brakes. The chances that you're going to overshoot your stall egregiously is going to be pretty low.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. We saw contact on pit road last week in the Daytona 250, so none of that so far here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as we see the pace car peel off. It's going to be Zach Roethlisberger is going to take them to the line. And Greathouse, we have a Greathouse fan in our YouTube cheering him on. He's going to start on the outside there to start things off once again here at Phoenix, here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League, as we creep up to the Geico Restart zone here. As Zach's already going to get a bit of a jump creeping up to that restart zone. We see that blue hit, and there we go. We see Zach Roethlisberger get on that gas pedal, lead them to the start finish line here, down into one. A clear takeoff there, looking like a SpaceX shuttle taken off of Launchpad 39A there. He's going to creep around corner number 1. He's going to lead Warren right behind him. Marabello is going to be right there as well. A few drivers we haven't called out so far here tonight's event. But Carlos, we mentioned it to start off this broadcast, as the race goes on and the flow and ends of the race play out, we're going to see that. We're going to see a shuffle of drivers throughout tonight's race. But it's all up to those big names and now climbing back up through the grid to get their names back in the mix.
Yeah, and we also have, oh my goodness, I didn't notice it until now. Deanna Warren out on chat, cheering on to 70 as the caution is out. It's also David Warren's birthday. Hey,
hey. Carlos.
Hey. Well, let's take a look and see what the caution was. What were we trying to say?
I was going to say, should we sing happy birthday? I don't know if we should. We're not very good singers up here at 3 White TV.
Let's say if he gets an interview, we'll sing him happy birthday as well. That may have been an issue with the dog leg. Those are 2 separate issues. What's going on here?
Oh, man. Did the caution light maybe flash there on the corner, which may have caused the other drivers to check up there? Because that's what it looked like second incident. That the drivers may have seen the caution flag come out and they may have just checked up in the corner.
No, because the caution came out after this thing was registered. I'm failing to see just what happened here. There was an incident in the back already, but right there you see the 20, and I think that's the 3 making contact, and they were unable to get off of each other. It was Ming Hong and the 20, and I don't know if that was just a chance or they were frustrated with each other, but they could not get off once they made contact. Re-merging back out on track. The 20 didn't know the 3 was there. I'm not going to put the fault on the 3 there, and it seems like they were just merged together. Couldn't get out of the way, and then behind them, carnage ensued, and in the 20's attempt to almost get down Pear Road, he almost accidentally dumped the 3. That would have been embarrassing for sure.
And one other thing that's about this incident there, Carlos, you said one of the names there. Min Hang was caught up into this, and Min Hang was one of those drivers that decided to go down pit road, made those adjustments, get those freshies on, get that fuel tank topped up, and you see what happens there. You know, you try to make the right moves, you try to make the right strategies, and you see his car right in, watching live on YouTube, just gets unfortunately just squeezed there on the top side and has nowhere to go. And unfortunately, Carlos, I don't want to call it just yet, but that might be his race here tonight at Phoenix.
Definitely hard contact, constant strain on the suspension parts. That could be it. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, as we're still a couple laps shy of finishing the stage. Although I do think we're gonna finish this one under yellow, and if that's the case, this stage may go to Ryan Marabello at Rind.
Yeah, taking a look here, Carlos, as you see the caution lights are still on of that pace car. Right now, Marabello is leading the way here. Depending on when we go green, again, as mentioned, Carlos, he is going to be our stage 2 winner here tonight. But one thing I've noticed about the grid, Carlos, is we only have 2 dash drivers inside of the top 20 left.
It's the nature of the beast that we've seen so far. We didn't expect a race like this to get all hot and heavy, and unfortunately has, as we are 1 to green. It's going to be a 1-lap shootout to end the stage. Remember, caution's not going to come out for the stage. These are green flag stages. They just keep on racing. If a caution does come out, that's just a coincidence. It's not a conspiracy, guys. So let's just hope that doesn't happen. It's Vincent Isabella running out on second there. Gonna make a chance to possibly steal that stage win from Riley Marabello.
Here we go. As we see that pace car is off here, and we'll do like TLC. We'll creep to that Geico restart zone here as Marabella and Isabella is going to drag race up to that Geico restart zone here. And this restart zone, the toughest throughout these racetracks these cars go to, because you have to time that thing just right. As we see him speed up just a little bit, creeping up to that restart zone here, and you see Mario Bello is going to get the jump there just a little bit. Going to lead them to the start-finish line here. Now has Weeks on his side, trying to fight him, as Weeks is going to go to that rallycross cut through, trying to make a big move. It's not going to be enough here, as Mario Bello is still going to hold on to the lead here, heading to the backstretch. But Weeks got a big run coming off the corner there onto the backstretch. He's going to try to make a move on that back bumper of Mario Bello. Just not going to be enough, as he's got to hold on to that second place position, as Mario Bello is going to lead them around 3 and 4 to the start-finish line here. He's going to take stage 2, being our stage 2 winner here, as things are going to keep rocking and rolling here at Phoenix. Mario Bello is going to be our stage 2 winner, as Weeks in Delicato and Ogle right there in the 5th position, and Andrew Hess, another Dash for Cash driver, is going to hold on to his 6th position right there. Work their way up through the grid. 2 names that stand out for me, Carlos, are Sam Brochu and Jordan Tarbell, and the caution is out once again.
It's a pretty big wreck. From what I barely just got a glimpse of, I'm going to try to see if I can pull up the replay here. I think I see Ming Hong involved, Zach Roethlisberger, Nick Vasquez, Tepe Anderson. A checkup going into turns 3 and 4, and just the day goes from bad to worse for Ming Hong. Strong performance in the very beginning of the race, and since he went down pit road to get some fresh tires, it's all gone downhill.
And that should officially do it for Min Hang's race. And as we're taking a look at this caution, we'll take a look at maybe if we could get Min Hang into the booth here just to get his point of view on tonight's race. Unfortunately,
sure
it might be over. Get him up here into the booth just and get him on the radio. And Ming, we got you on the radio here at 3Y TV, and unfortunately, we see you in your second incident in about a matter of 5 minutes or so. Man, you were running so strong to start off tonight's event. I was calling you out on the broadcast for being so consistent from Daytona, the duels heading into tonight. Man, what makes this course so difficult? And you think your night's over there?
Oh, you've done the first big mistake, not checking to see if he can even talk.
He can to him before the race, but he might be a little upset about how his race is going here, Ming, and I think we got him on the broadcast here. Ming, you got a copy? Might be a little upset.
Unfortunately, his mic is not working.
There. Oh, his mic broke about 5 seconds ago, right before we brought him into the booth, Carlos, and that is an unfortunate event for us here at 3. But Ming, if you can hear us, we wish you all the best, man, and we're sorry your night's unfolded like this, but we can't wait to see what you have in store for the rest of the folks at home next week here on 3Y TV. And man, it was unfortunate to see you caught up in 2 so close to one another.
Yeah, if you're able to get your mic working and would still like to talk to us, just hop on over to the Infield Care Center, shoot us a message if we don't see you right away, and we'll love to get you out here.
Yep, so we'll wait for Ming to jump back up in here and see if he can chat with us for just a little bit. But Carlos, at 9 cautions and 64 laps here, man, what a start to tonight's event. It was nothing like Daytona 250 in last week's event. And there we go, we might have Ming available to chat with us. Let's see if we can get him on the broadcast here. And Ming, you got a copy?
Hello.
Hey!
I'm here.
We got him. We thought you might have been a little hot from what's happened here in the last 5 minutes or so. But man, what an unfortunate way. It looks like your night might be over if you can get that thing back out there. Maybe just race for some points there. But you were racing very consistent off tonight's event, as well as racing at Daytona and in the duels. What do you think to this rough ending tonight?
And you're going to have to be very quick about it. We're about to go back to green.
Yeah, we just got caught up in a wreck. These guys in the back, they race a lot different than the guys up front, and I just haven't been in the back, not enough experience, and It's different. Got caught up a few wrecks, but I actually think we have a shot still. So we gotta about have a race left. So we're good.
All right, we're gonna try to
Get
get
going.
you again if there's another quick caution, me.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha, man. Good luck.
We'll put him back in the waiting room because I just looked and he's still out there driving on track. So
Yeah, he's still hanging on there in the 20th position now, up to 19 as Marabella is going to take them around the corner here. Take that green flag to get things on and popping here once again here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League as Weeks right behind him, Isabella, Indelicato, and Ogle are right behind him as well. That's going to be our top 5. But it looks like, Carlos, once that leader gets to the top pack, he's able to nail down those restarts. It doesn't matter who the leader is. If you can get to that top position and nail that Geico restart, man, you can really set yourself in a good position here on these green flag runs.
yeah, well said. Excuse me, I have to adjust something there very quickly. As caution's out again. Drivers backwards on track.
Oh, man, and that Mountain Dew car did the do there and went backwards down the track there and unfortunately brings out the double-digit caution of the night there.
Oh no, it's the birthday boy.
No. The number 70 of Warren is going to go backwards there.
Oh, that was weird. Those are almost two separate incidents at the same time.
And he might be able to keep that thing out there, Carlos. It looks like he made contact with the wall, but it may have not have been severe contact if he can get that thing repaired and back out on the track.
You know what? I think you should sing happy birthday to him. Let's finish our chat with Ming Hong, and then we'll bring him in, and then you can sing happy birthday to him.
We'll both sing happy birthday, Carlos. I can't have you avoid that one. You gotta sing with me. Everybody loves your voice, Carlos.
Oh, I'm concerned about the timing delays, but yeah, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. We'll give him a little birthday present in that case. But let's bring in Ming Hong and finish the conversation with him.
Yeah. As we'll get Ming Hong back up into the booth here. Min Hang, and we'll see exactly what led to his early demise here tonight, folks. And it was unfortunate as he was running a really good race. And Ming, we got you back up here into the booth for a quick chat. Ming, we were kind of breaking down why your night ended so early there, but you're still in the mix there. We see you now jumped up to the 11th position after getting caught up in 2 quick incidences there. What do you think makes this track so difficult for everybody, and what do you think's led to double-digit cautions so far?
Well, again, I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's almost like it's 2 different worlds. It's like the pack is almost split in half. You know, the front half is, you know, relatively single file clean. At the back, it's like a dog fight. So got caught up in the first wreck because the pit cycle, which I'm not too sure what happened, so I won't comment too much. But the second wreck was just stuff happened in front of me and I couldn't avoid it. But luckily, we didn't get too much damage, so back in the hunt still.
See that, and as I was talking on the broadcast, you're probably one of the most consistent drivers throughout this series leading into tonight. Just really always having your car up there in the mix. One question I wanted to ask you too before we go green here, I think I've asked everybody that's visited us here in the booth, what do you think is going to be the key to victory here tonight? We're hearing steering, we're hearing just laying it down, we're hearing a bunch of different things that's going to lead to victory. What do you think is going to be the key to victory here tonight?
I think as long as there's not too many cautions at the end, it's 100% a tire save game. Tire fall off is really fast. You know, after 6 laps, it's worth it for tires for me at least. So it's a tire save game for me.
Tires. See, tires I knew was going to come into play here tonight. Just the way you have to take these corners and that racetrack a little bit here, Ming. And we'll let you go here, man, as you've already gotten back about spots there just on that couple of green flag laps we had there. So I'm sure we'll see you back up inside the top 5 here in just a little bit. If this thing stays green for just to give you long enough to get that race car back up in the mix. But Bing, we appreciate you here joining us, and I'm sure we'll talk to you here at the end of the night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Well, we are 1 to green. I don't know if we have enough time to sing happy birthday, Will. Do you think?
We could give it a go and see if we can get it in real quick, Carlos.
All right, bring him up.
Yeah, all right. We'll see if we can't get him in the booth real quick. Might be a little upset the way his night has ended.
Here,
Let's see
we
if I
have
can
until
find
the
him.
end of the backstretch. Actually,
Let's see if we
best
can't
best
get-
not, best not. They're already in the backstretch right now. Let's save it for the next caution.
We got, if he can stay in the lobby long enough, we'll bring him up for the next caution there, Carlos, as we're about to go on and popping here once again here on lap 71 here at Phoenix. Has been a hot race so far here tonight, Carlos. We're sweating up here in the booth. The drivers are sweating. We've had a few drivers go to the care center as well.
Oh my goodness.
As we're creeping up to the Geico Restart zone, it's going to be Marabella and Isabella. Marabella and Isabella leading things down, as Marabella is going to take them across the start. Isabella right there as well.
Oh,
And they're three wide going down into the corner. Oh, man.
Brian Lorenzo drove it in there deep below the dogleg there in the opening there, and was able to get in the inside 3 wide as they all approached turns 1 and 2. Thankfully, nothing happened, but that was very close.
Yeah, very indeed there, Carlos, as the Italians have now taken over the top 5. We got Marabello, we got Indelicato, we got Lorenzo, we got Isabella up there as well. Is an Italian takeover in the top 5 right now, Carlos. As we're on lap 73 here at Phoenix. It looks like the leaders have single filed themselves up there at the top. But Nick has some competition right there on the end. As the 77 is going to try to get around him there on that corner. And it looks like they're going to drag race just a bit there, going around the corner. And Nick's going to squeeze just a little bit. They're still going to stay side by side right now. Heading down the backstretch here, down into corner number 3. Looks like Nick's going to take that corner a little bit hot. Lorenzo's going to back up just a little bit there to give him the corner. As it looks like, Carlos, once again, if the leader can get that restart down pat, they can really take off here on these green flag runs.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing. I do have a development here to mention. Unfortunately, the reason why Johnny Eckert pulled over into Pier Road unexpectedly is I believe his whole house, and I'm assuming the neighbors' houses as well, had to be evacuated for a suspected gas leak. So unfortunate that happened, but everybody appears to be safe and sound. Yeah, they already got the fire rescue there, making sure there's nothing going on. But either way, it's very difficult to hear that happened, and we wish Johnny, his family, and his neighbors and their families the best of luck as well, as we are halfway.
Oh, man. That is a serious thing there, Carlos. I hope everybody is okay in that situation here, as we'll see him back here next week in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. But all of our thoughts and everything are with him and his family in that serious situation there, Carlos. But taking a look at the action.
We have a special guest in the infield care center.
Special guest indeed, Carlos. We'll see if we can't get that guest up here in the booth. Take a look here at who that special, and it is the man himself, Johnny Eckert. And Johnny, you are on the radio with us here at 3Y TV. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell the distress in your voice, man. You're up there in the top 5 majority of this race. We've had double-digit cautions throughout. What's your point of view of tonight's action here tonight, and man, what do you think's led to such chaos and chaoticness here tonight?
Well, actually, first of all, is everybody okay? That's like a more important question.
Right.
Yeah. So
He was a little shaken there, Carlos. So I'll let him take a breather.
I was running, and then my dad yelled down that there was fire activity outside. And I'm like, all right, so I pulled on pit road, parked it, and went outside, and the whole fire department's on my block and right in front of the house.
No.
So, yeah, the house across the street apparently had a gas leak for someone who smelled gas, so they came to check it out. But yeah, I came down pit road and parked it, and then I came back downstairs to tow, figuring it'll be fine. And then I come back to my computer, and now I have a meatball. So because the engine blew while after towing, and it won't repair my engine, so I'm done. Like I literally can't get it fixed because it won't.
See that?
This is a first for me on many levels, but this pit repair issue is something I did not expect.
This is
a
a common pit repair issue. especially with
Yeah.
the sports cars, where if you just park it, the engine will explode itself because there's no air going to the radiator. And if you do that while you're in pit road, iRacing has nowhere to tow you, so it won't fix it.
Yeah, I didn't know that it won't fix it, but here we are. So this is a painful end to it because I had pace, and you know I had bagged the wall a couple times, and you know I was ready to go, and it's just I did not think that I should have just stayed at the end of pit road. I parked in one of the empty stalls right at the end of pit road, and I figured, you know, we're good here, and I turned the engine off. It was good. I didn't really think about the fact that the engine might blow after towing, so that's
Wait, you left it
very
on?
unfortunate.
I mean, you left it off?
Yeah, I turned it off. I was parked at the end of pit road, turned the engine off, and then said to myself, let me just clear out of pit road so nothing happens if I'm not here. So I towed, and I towed back to my pit stall, and in that time the engine blew.
Oh,
So
man.
now I'm stuck in the stall. Even though I had my engine off when I towed, didn't matter. I came downstairs and saw my the meatball, and now I'm gutted because I can't even try to scrape a couple extra spots. So, but yeah, the beginning of the race was a rough one, and it seems like they got going a little bit now. It's just a frustrating night so far.
Definitely, but we were just glad that everybody's okay, and the engine blowing might have been the gas leak that everybody was smelling there. It might have been leaking a little gas down on the track.
Yeah, it might have been. I don't know, man. That's a frustrating one.
Oh man, Johnny. And then coming into this week after winning last night in a different series, and then tonight trying to keep that momentum going, you had to go in there for a little bit, but as we talked about on the podcast, sometimes it's just life gets in the way sometimes. And man, who would have thought a gas leak would be the reason we had to retire in tonight's event?
Yeah, I was shocked when I came upstairs because I had no information. I was a little PO'd about the fact that I was in the middle of the race and I had to go up there. But you know, it's one of those things. When it's something important, you just know that something's important. So I came upstairs and was absolutely shocked. But you know, it looks like everybody's all right and fire department's cleared, so we're good out in real life. A little bit not happy about what's going on in the race now, but you know, in grand scheme of things, you know, it is what it is. It doesn't matter. You know, everybody's all right, and that's the important thing. So, but yeah, I just want to point out. I want to thank Ray from Many Rays who's watching. thanks to him for tuning in, and yeah, and all everybody else supporting the series tonight. Thank you guys for broadcasting it. Thanks to DJ and Zach for taking over while I tend to IRL stuff.
Yeah, I'm saying, man, you could have up and you're just sitting there racing along like nothing's even happening. Like that's well, we're just glad everybody's okay. But as we have you up in the booth as a special commentator, if you will, your night's unfortunately over as we're speaking with Johnny Eckert here, who had a gas leak threat on his neighbor's house that forced him to retire as he got back into the race car. His race car has blown up himself. So we have you up in the booth here, Johnny, and I wanted to ask you, as we have you as a special commentator, we saw you laying down some of the best laps on the track, really competing up there in the top three. What do you think is the key here tonight of staying inside the top five and maybe winning this thing at the end?
Well, unfortunately, I was only running during the caution period. But so you know, long run wise, I'm not really sure. But I was having a hard time on corner exit. You know, we ran some practice laps over the weekend, and it really felt like the car rotated well when you gave it a decent amount of gas. But tonight it just felt like, I don't know if it was just from more rubber or maybe I was running a slightly different line. But you know, I was having a hard time on corner exit, and you saw me. You may have caught me losing some spots on corner exit a few times, but it was just, you know, the key probably is just keeping the right side tires happy. On entry, it's really easy to overcook corner, overcook entry, beat on that right rear because it's going to drift if you turn in too quick, and then on corner exit, making sure that you're kind of the right front. It's kind of that balance. If you start to push it too far on one end, you're gonna struggle long run.
I do have a quick question for you, and by all means, if it shouldn't be answered in here, we understand. But we did note that on the race notes it was stated to the drivers that any incidents involving the open dogleg could be subjected to penalty. We've already had a couple because drivers were taking the dogleg. Do you possibly see, without going into too much detail, penalties because of this?
I haven't seen the incidents themselves. You know, when it comes to the transitions, you know, I have to talk with the other two just to kind of get an idea. But you know, off my, you know, from what I'm thinking right now, at least, you know, if it's the transition entering, you know, you might not see that much. You know, you might not see a penalty or something. But if someone's merging back and just kind of, you know, wiping somebody out or you know, doing something dangerous, then you know you might see a penalty going into next week. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't seen any of the incidents yet, but you know, it was made clear in the race notes. It was made clear in the drivers' meeting that you know this car doesn't like the dogleg transition. It's just you have to do it a specific way. I learned that very quickly running laps this past weekend.
Oh!
And
sorry, they all saved it.
Oh
yeah.
Boy.
Dave there.
But yeah, no, you gotta be careful. You know, you can't just go in there full throttle and transition down, transition back up, and so you know if it's a little bit, you know, if it was aggressive, egregious, you know, you probably see penalties.
Yeah.
What if there was one that would require a penalty? What type of penalty would we be expecting?
It depends on what exactly happened, but you know, off the top of my head, you know, you know, I'm expecting that there might be an EOL or two starting next week. I'm not exactly sure what else we might do, but it really depends on the incident because we made it extremely clear that this was a concern for us. You know, we had a bunch of cautions to start the race, and for good reason. It seemed like that those cautions, the majority of those cautions, were due to those incidents. So, you know, we might see a couple of EOLs or something, but you know, hopefully, any of the incidents were not bad enough to warrant us doing anything more than that.
Yeah, Johnny, as we've touched on next week, we're heading to Vegas next week, but before we do that, we're going to wrap up our first Dash for Cash here tonight, and currently right now, Nick Indelicato is leading that standings right now in the second position. As you are a series official of this league so far, how impressed are you of Nick's progress so far? We saw him at Daytona last week come home with the victory, and the duels ran pretty strong as well, and now is leading the way there for the Dash for Cash. And not only is he going to make it rain Dash for Cash, he might even come home with a race victory here tonight.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed, to be honest with you, because the beginning of the duel, he had a little bit of a rough time at the start, and it looked like, you know, he was just trying really hard to make up ground, and I think he was the only Shift Esports driver in his duel, so he was kind of on his own island. But you know, he had a rough start to the duel, but ended up finishing well, and then Shift came out, you know, like a bat out of heck in the Daytona race last week, and really made good ground, and you know, he showed how strong he was going to be. And you know, this week it doesn't surprise me at all. We were running side by side for a few laps, and you know, he's a quick driver. He knows when to push it and when not to. And, you know, he was really respectful with me tonight, and I know he's respectful with a lot of other people, or with, you know, everyone. So it doesn't surprise me he's in this position. I think if this race goes green the rest of the way, that, you know, there's probably another pit stop on the way. That might be a determining factor. I know Andrew Hess is super fast on long runs. So, you know, he could still be a threat, and Seth's looks like he has a little bit of damage and is starting to recover from whatever happened to him tonight. But, you know, across the board there, those three guys really are going to put on a show. So Nick is class of the field right now. I know Riley's leading, but, you know, Nick felt like when I was racing with him, it felt like he was just kind of biding his time a little bit. You know, we'll see what happens towards the end of the race, but you know, so far he's shown what he's got.
Yeah, as we've crossed the century mark here at the Phoenix 150 here, we're speaking with Johnny Eckert, a driver who was racing really good here. Had a misfortunate IRL incident happened. A gas leak at his neighbor's house forced him to retire here in tonight's event. And Johnny, we appreciate you joining us here. And wanted to ask you too before we let you go. We head to Vegas next week in week 3 officially, week 4 if you want to count the duels. How impressed are you of your field of competition so far, and how are you able to get such a wide range of drivers to join this league?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. You know, it was a little bit scary. It was a bit of a daunting task for us. A little bit of contact out of 4 there. We're at a 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, a daunting task for us just to get this off the ground, because we have grand, you know, aspirations with the league. We have, you know, things that we want to do, and you know, but the most important thing is to start to build the community, build more than just the driver base, but the community. And you know, we've had a couple guys that really bought into what we were trying to do from the beginning. You know, like Seth Rawls and Shift Esports really just kind of, you know, they saw, I guess they trusted us to do this right, and that's what we're trying to do. And I think a lot of people saw through the recruitment races and you know, how we've handled things up to this point, at least in my opinion, that we're trying to make sure that this is done, that we do this right, and we keep that going. So, you know, you might not always keep everybody happy, but you know, the most important thing, right, is that the racing is going to be clean. It's going to be fun for everybody, and if there are any issues that need to be taken care of, we handle it as professionally as we possibly can. And you know, it's pretty cool to see, you know, week 2, it's still early in the season. A lot of racing left to come, but you know, it's a really good start, and you know, hopefully we can keep it up.
Ooh, as we see the 70 get really loose there, Johnny, we see some cars head down pit road, green flag pit stops. We see your race car on pit road there, still stalled in that. Fortunately, you blew an engine as you got towed back to pit road there during your IRL incident there. And Johnny, I want to say thank you for bringing me on here with 3Y TV as we're looking at more action on the track here, maybe some incident on pit road here. But a big thank you for us at 3Y TV for bringing us on here. It's been a blast calling these races so far, and we cannot wait for Vegas next week.
Yeah, thank you both. Really appreciate it, and thanks to Manny Reyes for sponsoring the series, Pro Air sponsoring the Dash or Cash, which is going on tonight. The first race with money up for grabs for the winner of that, highest finisher there. Thanks to Davis Warren for sponsoring the chase, as you may have shown so far the updated point standings. Thanks to him for coming on board for that, and yeah, we're looking forward to what's to come, and you know, hope the strong racing continues.
And before we let you go, Johnny, we'll let you go handle some team business, or league business, or get back to race control. Where can people find out more information about the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League, and how do they get a hold of you if they want to join?
Yeah, so first off, you may see in the top left-hand corner, every once in a while, the QR code that takes you straight to the Dynasty Stock Car Racing Discord, where you can sign up to race with us. We have a couple open spots. We're approaching right now. We're approaching closing sign-ups. I think we have like 5 spots, something like that, left open. So yeah, if you're interested, definitely, you know, join the Discord. Also on Twitter at DSCR League. That's another good place. Link to the Discord's on there too. So yeah, that's where you can find us. We'll be here every Wednesday. Well, nearly every Wednesday until Christmas. So
awesome, Johnny. Yeah, right, exactly. Stay tuned. It has been an awesome league so far here tonight, Johnny. And again, we're glad that everybody's okay for that incident you had in real life there, man. But we cannot wait to see you back in the race car here next Wednesday night here on 3Y TV, man. And have a great rest of your
Yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
We were joined by Johnny Eckert there, I guess a league admin here in the Dynasty Stock Car Racing League. Also one of the top drivers coming into tonight, Carlos. He's running top 5 majority of the race, and unfortunately life got in the way here on the simulator.
Unfortunate indeed, but during this long interviews, Johnny Eckert is known for having very, very long interviews. We've had passes for positions, almost incidents, almost incidents. We had green flag pit stops that were still cycling through. We had a driver overshoot the pit road entry and just bump into the back of another driver that was, just being alive.
Right.
In pit road, and well, that's all that's happening. We have less than 40 laps to go, 38 to go, as right now the top 8 have yet to go down pit road. Nick Delicado would have this race lead for right now if all the 8 drivers ahead of him were to pit.
Let's see, Carlos, the constant that you just said there, it was green, 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 and green. This has been the longest green flag run of the race here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure I just put the commentator's curse on there. Haven't had a stretch like this all race right now. As Carlos just mentioned, drivers have yet to head down pit road, so I'm sure we'll see that grid shake up just a little bit. But Carlos, this race has really settled down. It's gotten a little bit cooler on the track here in Phoenix. They have gone down from maybe about 110 down to 100 here on the track surface. But things are still wrong here. No more cautions yet. We hit that 10th caution, and now things have started to cool down just a bit.
10 cautions overall, still a little high from what I'm sure the drivers and the league owners and the admins want, but the fact that we're getting this really long run at the end is really good, especially at a critical part during green flag pit stops, because then you got all those drivers with fresh, fast tires, and you got drivers with slow, barely cornering tires, and you mix them up together at a short track like this. That usually leads to some destruction. Thankfully, everything's been A-okay so far. As you know, I expect these guys to go down pit road soon. I don't know when they're going to pit. Maybe they're hoping for a caution. But right now, this top 6, just looking to survive right now.
Yeah, as you just saw on your screen, if you're watching live on 3Y TV, that Nick Delicado just made a move on the birthday boy of Warren there in the 7. He just made another pass as well to overtake Marabella. He is trying to work his way back up into that lead. Right now, we're looking at Josh Robinson. Our pole sitter is now leading the race here, but as Carlos mentioned, he is yet to head down pit road, so I'm sure we'll see a change in the lead in just a little bit. We have Ogle right there as well in 2nd position, and Andrew Hess, one of our Dash for Cash drivers, is trying to make that money here tonight. But again, he has yet to head down pit road also. But pit road, as you see the Bugs Bunny GIF up there on the screen counting that money, and it is yet to be decided here, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Delicado there making it rain in victory lane there in the 2nd position. But with these green flag pit stops here and the reshuffling that's going to occur, it's going to take some driving to kind of work your way back up the grid here. And if a caution comes out here, Carlos, that could make big changes here with the last 30 laps or so.
Yeah, if a caution was to come out at this point, I would say Hess, actually, never mind. Hess is down in pit road. I was going to say this would have really helped out Hess. He probably could have had a chance of maybe getting this this victory, this Dash or Cash victory, if not the actual race victory, had a caution come out while he was still out there. But right now, well, there goes the last one. Josh Robinson going down pit road. I'm assuming Min Hong is also going to do it as well. No, he's going to stay out. I wonder if he's going to try to get a bonus point for leading a lap, as Nick Delicado is not too close behind him, but also not too far away.
And we spoke to Ming just a little while ago. I all but wrote him off here in tonight's event, but he's got that race car out there still racing for points here, ladies and gentlemen, as right now he is registered as your race leader in that Spectrum race car there, racing that number 3 on the side here at Phoenix. It looks like he is slowing that race car down. Nope, not just yet. He's going to keep it And as you mentioned, Carlos, he's got Nick and Delicato creeping up right behind him. He's closing that lap as that time as these laps tick down. Right now it is down to about 3-3 right now, 3-2. And as we're talking, that lead is shrinking by the second, Carlos.
Yeah, it's obviously going to be Nick Delicato's lead within a handful, maybe 1 or 2 more laps. The question is, Han, you got that bonus point for leading a lap already, but at this point, just go down pit road. A caution is probably not going to happen. However, if a caution does happen, he's going to be just the happiest man on earth.
Definitely, as Min Hong is trying to hang now, as you see entering your screen, Nick Indelicato in that 4 machine has now worked his way back up into the second position. He has closed that gap to now less than a second. He's got his eyes set on Min Hang right up there, trying to climb his way back up into the lead. He's got that draft right now. Going to try to use that rail back up there on the backstretch. He's definitely going to make a move right here on 3 and 4. He's trying to work around, and it looks like Nick Indelicato is going to overtake with that Stormtrooper helmet on.
Yeah, Mehan also went down pit road. So whether he wanted to or not, he was not going to challenge for that to possibly get that lead back.
No, and one driver that I am impressed with other than Nick Indelicato here tonight is Sam Brochu. Sam has worked his way up through the field. I believe he started in the middle of Carlos. It might have been in the 15 to 20 range there, but really
he started third.
Third? Oh, there we go. I think he faded then. He faded way back because we didn't see his name or call out his name a lot here tonight. May have had a bad start to start things off here, but has worked his way up into the top 5 so far here, Carlos, and it's a great way of working that thing back into contention.
Well said. Sam Brochu, I'm sure he's not going to care whether or not you didn't notice him in the first half of the race. He's going to care that you're noticing him at the end, because that means he's definitely running up front.
And Sam come at the point standings here, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, Sam Brochu is just outside of the cut line. So with a great finish here tonight, he can get himself into that chase contention. Still have a long way to go here in the season, as this is only week 2, but you definitely want to try to lock yourself into those top 12 positions so you have nothing to worry about when this regular season closes out. As we're taking a look here right now, as Nick Indelicato is trying to hold off Marabello right behind him. We get the 79 machine working his way up there as well. As we have 23 laps to go here. Shout out to Michael. Things are going to start heating up here with just a bit to close things out. I know last week's race kind of ended with a little bit of a lull, but no lull here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as this race has been the most exciting it has been all. Not had a caution here, I would say, Carlos, in about, hold on to it, in about 50 or 60 laps, if I'm not mistaken.
That's that's the last thing, right? Riley Marabello wanted to do, as he was indeed chasing down Nick Indelicato for the race win. He got a little too tight, give it just too much horsepower there in the corner, and just drifted straight up and just hit that onside wall. It wasn't the hardest hit in the world, but it was definitely solid contact. Oh, he did it there again! Back to back!
Yeah, it is a hard exit off of that corner there, Carlos. We've seen it at a few drivers, and Johnny Eckert, we had him up in the booth here just a little while ago as a guest commentator. He spoke about his issues during the race as well, making contact with that wall. He brushed. Once this car starts to get away from you there, it is hard to keep that thing off of that outside wall there on the exit of these corners. Indelicato wants to hear on the radio that Marabello is having difficulties on exits, brushing that wall. He wants to hear that from his spotter, because he knows he can keep laying that thing down here throughout this track and cruise with 20 laps to go to victory.
Unless he has the crew chief app or he is listening to the broadcast, he has no idea, possibly has no idea that Marabello's been hitting the outside wall. these last 2 times, make it 3. Now, this time by, he's learned his lesson. He did lose some time, but you know what? I don't think the damage is that much for Marabello. He did drop from about 0.3 of a second down to 0.6 of a second, but this whole last lap, he's been able to kind of maintain it, and if anything, oh man, he just hit it again.
Yeah. Yep, just brushed the wall once again there, and that 52 machine is having a little bit of a difficulty keeping that thing off of that wall.
It's done. That car's tight. It's killed.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we've seen it, Carlos. That was a good spot there. We saw him try to make that move on Nick there on the corner, but it looks like that car is just shot on him there. It looks like his night might be over, but he can hold onto that race car, maybe lock down a top 5 position. But
he's got about 3 seconds behind or ahead of the guy behind him.
Yeah, so if he can hold onto that car, he can still hold onto a podium finish. But right now, Carlos, as I was mentioning, Nick Indelicato with 17 laps to go, this might be his race to lose.
Somebody was wall riding there, I'm assuming unintentionally. Unless a caution comes out or Nick Indelicato does something he will not be too happy about. This is his race 1, and maybe we ought to talk to John to see if there's a bonus to a winner to a Dash for Cash winner that also won the race. I know there's not, but I'm saying maybe we should do one.
Yeah, as you see Nick Indelicato creep around the corner here to the start-finish line, I believe, or the backstretch. And Carlos, for all you UFC fans out there, I won't just yet, as UFC fans saw what happened last weekend as they were giving Kamaru Usman the victory in that fight. He got clipped with a minute to go in the 5th round. So I don't want to say he's got it in the bag just yet, but a lot of things on the line if he does, Carlos. This would make it back-to-back wins. Winner here tonight. So a lot to win here tonight for Nick in that 4 machine, and it is well-deserved, Carlos. He has done a great job of holding that thing inside the top 5 throughout tonight's race. Once he doesn't want to give it up, that's his toy. He's not letting anybody else play with it. That is his lead up there right now in that 4 machine with 14 laps to go. And you see that lead, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching live along with us on 3Wide TV, it is building each lap. It's going to be a tough task for anybody to catch him. Right now, he's got about almost a 2-second lead on 2nd place and a 3-second lead on 3rd place. So really going to be a tough task the way that Nick Indelicato has been hitting these corners here tonight.
Seemed like Riley Marabello could have possibly passed Indelicato for the win. He had the speed, he had the pace, it seemed. Unfortunately, he hit the wall once and the car was still okay. He hit the wall twice and it was still fine. But unfortunately, the third time was the charm. That doesn't sound right. Is that it? Third time's?
That's correct, Carlos.
Oh, okay,
and it's funny that
it just sounds wrong. Yeah, third time's the charm, and his car is no good no more. And I think I've seen him hit it a 4th time. So unfortunately, right now, chances of winning are very, very low. He's nursing a wounded race car, and Barrett Pohemus is catching up behind him. He was 3 seconds behind. Now he's 1 second behind. There's a good chance he may get passed for 2nd place before this race is over. Sam Brochu really not too far off, but it's possible. I can't see him holding off that 3rd place position now. Will, I believe you're going to say something.
Yeah, with Riley trying to hold on to that position there, he's really, I would say, Carlos, in my opinion, he's really trying to hold on to a top 5 finish.
Did he hit it again?
There, he did do it again there, Carlos, and I was going to mention our special guest up here in the booth, Johnny Eckert. He talked about how he brushed the wall once, brushed the wall twice, and on the 3rd time, it really messed up his race car, and that's when we started to see Johnny Eckert kind of fade down. Lose a lot of positions. He actually mentioned it while we were talking to him there for a bit, but how it really affected his race. And then when he had to park the car for that in real life event that he had occur off screen, he really looked back on that situation saying, like, gosh, if I hadn't brushed the wall those couple of times there, I really would have been in contention And we're seeing it right now for Riley Marabello. Just those few contacts on that outside wall that really cost him.
I think that right there was the hardest one he's done, and each hit he's hitting is just making that car worse and worse, to the point where his best bet right now is to go caution free, because if a caution comes out, he's outside the top 10.
Yeah, and at this point, like I said, he's really trying to hold on to a top 5 finish there. And that's it. Shoe coming up right in the corner of your screen, as well as Zach Roethlisberger right there to round out the top 5. And for Riley, you really want to come home with a top 5. You know, you have a stage victory here tonight. A top 5 finish and a stage victory is not the win per se, Carlos, but it would still be a solid night here at Phoenix.
Oh, he did it again. Now the number 79 of Barrett Pahimis has been running down the race leader.
Oh,
what?
Hey, Carlos, we went 3 wide on the corner. He got squeezed on the inside.
He did the right thing, honestly.
A lot of speed.
I was about to say, he's been running down the leader as this 20. I'm sure he's not doing anything on purpose, or just it looks worse than it is. But unfortunately, just can't get out of the way. It's just been stuck in the worst positions. I know you've been there. I've been there where you just couldn't get out of the way. I was going to say that number 79 was running down the number 4. I really don't think that there was enough time to catch up to Nick Delicato, but now there's absolutely no way that's going to happen, as number 79 is going to try to actually hold off Sam Brochu, who's right behind him. He's caught up in this whole mess, and he's going to try to get past the number 52 of Ryan Marabello once again.
Yeah, and Brett's been running a pretty good race as well, Carlos. About the second half there, for him to get a podium finish here tonight would be great. With 5 laps to go here, Nick Indelicato's lead now is up to 2.5 seconds there on second place, increasing as the laps go on. But the battles are really ensuing for these top 5 finishes, Carlos, right behind Nick. And at the pace we're going on now here, Carlos, Nick Indelicato is going to go Racing League and also be the winner of the Dash for Cash. Up for grabs here, so he's going to make it rain not only dollar bills and victory lane, but the champagne as well. With 4 laps to go, that 4 machine is going to be looking fresh and clean in victory lane here tonight.
I'm sensing internal frustrations there, as the hottest thing in that number 79 car is probably not the engine but the driver right now. Based on what happened with the lap traffic, not being able to get out of the way, he had that second place pretty much all locked up, and now he's trying to run him down with less laps, and it kind of seems like maybe it could be getting at his head that he's making small mistakes that's not able to, or that's preventing him from getting to the back of the 52. But he hasn't been as close to the 52 as he was earlier. As with 2 to go this time by, there's a good chance that Riley Marabello may be holding on to the second place spot.
Gonna fight on that second place position right now, as we're looking at Nick Indelicato up there sipping on that Perrier water, listening to some smooth jazz, knowing he's got this thing wrapped up there.
Oh, here we go.
Right now, the battle is ensuing. Right now, you see Brett trying to go to the inside of Riley Marabello. Right now, going down into the corner. The 79 is going to try to go to the inside. Right now, Riley Marabello is the 52 is going to hold that outside lane. He's going to hold on to it right now. Oh, as they cross the start-finish line, we're on the final lap here. Nick Indelicato is going to take that victory lap here, shine that 4 around the track, but the battle is ensuing for the second place. And Riley Marabello makes contact right there. You see right now if he can hold on to that position going down into the last corner. They are side by side right now. Nick Indelicato is going to win the Phoenix 150 here in style. He's going to make it rain like
Marabello held on.
Back, we'll see. Hey, there we go. And Riley Marabello holds on to second position. What a way to race that race car towards the end with it broken and bruised the way it was to end this thing here tonight, folks. What a race it was here at Phoenix. What a second race of the season. We have a back-to-back winner here tonight, folks. And Nick Indelicato, not only our race winner of the Phoenix 150, but our Dash for Cash champion.
What is it with you commentating on leagues that have back-to-back race winners for the first 2 races?
All these drivers are trying to be like Drake out here and go back to back. I don't know what it is, but I know one thing is for sure. And Nick Indelicato ran one heck of a race. A top 4 finish last week, or won the race last week, excuse me. Won the race here tonight. We'll see if he can win at Vegas on this West Coast trip here as well. But man, we saw it last night in back-to-back how tough it is to go 3 in a row. But if there's ever a driver to do it, I have faith in Nick Indelicato, the way he ran here tonight, winning this race by about 2.5 seconds there, Carlos. And I'll let you read off those official results for the folks at home.
Yeah, first place, Nick Indelicato wins the race, and he gets that Fat Cash award for winning the Dash for Cash, as well as being inducted to the next iteration of the Dash for Cash race, which is, Will, help me out here.
Yeah, the next Dash for Cash race, Carlos, let me get up that awesome schedule here. The next Dash for Cash race is going to be at Indy. Actually, no, excuse me, it's going to be at Auto Club, so in Cali, West Coast style right there.
Oh, yeah, so Ryan Marbello also going to be a Dash for Cash participating there at Auto Club, finishing in second. Barrett Pohemus, probably not too happy right now, but he'll have a chance of maybe getting some extra cash when they go to California for finishing in third. And Sam Brochu, finishing in fourth, is going to be your Dash for Cash finalist there for the next attempt here at Auto Club. Fifth place, Zach Roethlisberger. Josh Robinson finishing in sixth. Tom Ogo finishing in seventh. Brian Lorenzo finishing in 8th, DJ Weeks in 9th, and Andrew Hess running out that top 10. Ming Hong, unfortunately, didn't get the night that he wanted, finishing just outside the top 10 in 11th with Seth Rawls in 12th, Vincent Isabella finishing in 13th, Adam Tempe 14th, Kevin Stronberg in 15th, 16th is Ryan Mitchell, Davis Warren finishing 17th, Aaron Cooper in 18th, Jordan Tarbell 19th, and rounding out the top 20 in 20th place is Matt Brewer. Let me update here the graphic. There we go. Let me update it again because we're up to 20. 21st is Brian Edwards. Scott Collins finishing in 22nd. John DeBarro 23rd. Ryan Hyatt, please let me know, in 24th. David Westergreen finishing 25th. 26th is Nick Vasquez. Fred Anderson in 27th. Matthew Greathouse in 28th. 29th is Johnny Parham. Johnny Eckert finishing in 30th place, unfortunately, due to an in real life emergency that was going on in his surrounding area. 31st is Nicholas Monticelli in early retirement. Rich Allen in 32nd. Zach Evans, our in-race reporter, didn't get to do much reporting or even racing here tonight. 34th is Damian Leininger, and 35th is going to be Logan Slavoski. Going into this race, our points leader. Getting out of this race, I think it's safe to say, if my math is correct, he is not. But that wraps up the actual race results here tonight. As I don't know why we have a camera going through legs here, but Will, were you able to catch up with Barrett Pohemus? And I'll recommend maybe getting a fan out there for him.
I believe so. I believe we're catching up with Barrett right now. We'll go ahead and bring him up into the booth. We'll get him on the radio. And Barrett, you're coming.
Unfortunately, Will, you're cutting out there. Can you say it again, please?
Yeah, you're coming home third here tonight. It was quite a battle there at the end, my man. Take us through your point of view of tonight's race and how you were able to survive that last green flag run.
Yeah, it was a good race, at least the last half of it. The first half got pretty rough, but I got some solid stage points from the first one. I was able to run up front pretty well. So yeah, I knew I'd be fast. I didn't know if I'd be the fastest or not, so I just wanted to take what I could get there. I was a little bit worried there. I think it was around that 45 when a caution came out, and we had to let the pace car by right at pit road entry, but pit road was open, so we couldn't pit. And so the back half of the field was able to jump us, and then we started way deep in the field, but luckily I was able to just narrowly narrowly avoid getting taken out multiple times in wrecks. And I was able to find my way back up to the front, and I just eventually settled into a rhythm and got a solid pit stop, and that's why I was able to come out where I was. It was a good race.
Towards the end, in that last little bit there, we saw it actually on the broadcast as well. We're keeping an eye on Riley Marabello. Made contact with the wall a few times there, maybe put some damage on that race car. But we did see an incident there towards the end where a lapped car may have gotten in between you and Riley. Was that another challenge to accomplish?
You cut out again, but I think I understand the question. Yeah, I think, the lap car definitely hindered my progress. I think if he had gotten out of the way quicker, then I would have been able to pass Riley and maybe make a run at Nick for the win, because I was looking at the relatives and I think I ran him down a second in like 3-4 laps. So I think I was faster. I was faster than both of them, but I just ran out of laps in the end. And I think running in traffic so long also burnt out the right front a little bit too. So yeah, it's hard to race as hard as we do with tires as delicate as these are, especially at Phoenix. Phoenix really takes a toll on the tires. So it was interesting trying to keep a balance of saving and pushing, but that's also what I enjoyed about it. And I think that's also what contributed to my result today.
Tonight, looking forward to next week's race at Las Vegas. How confident are you heading into that track, and what do you foresee the rest of the season?
I'm feeling pretty good about Vegas. I'm feeling pretty good about most of the season, really. I know I'm going to miss one. I think I'm going to miss Pocono. So I just got to try to buff up as much points as I can so I can get in a good position chase-wise. But yeah, I'm feeling really good about the rest of the season. I think this result proves that. Phoenix has never been my best track, and I brought it home third and almost pipped second. So I'm really confident that I'll be right up there at the sharp end with everyone else. Just like I was this time, I don't think I'll be going away.
Oh man, we couldn't get a single word out of there from you that time.
It's alright, Carlos.
Try leaving the call and coming back in.
We go.
Did that work?
All right. We'll give it a go again. Sorry about that, Barrett. I was trying to keep a track. It's always on the interviews when Mike decides to cut out. But Barrett, as we have you here on the podium, we'd love to give you drivers the opportunity to shout out anybody you might have had watching at home, or any sponsors you have on the side of that race car.
I don't think anyone that I know is watching this. But if you are, hello. I did it. I made it on the podium. But yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to Turtle Cove, Texas Surf Gear. They're my sponsor in real life as well. Elite Performance Industries for being such a great setup shop on iRacing, and John Owen Lynch for putting together this incredible team at Spino Racing and being able to help me or let me race with such great teammates like I have and be able to put together solid results like this.
Yeah, man. Well, congratulations on the podium finish here tonight. Cannot wait to see what you have in store for us here on 3Y TV next week at Las Vegas. If you race that race like you raced here tonight, we'll speak to you last in victory lane. But Barrett, have a great rest of your week, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for putting on the broadcast. It's a great show.
Appreciate that. And that was Barrett there, Carlos, and I apologize for the mic issues there. It's always on the interviews there, ladies and gentlemen.
It seems to clear up, though. It gets progressively worse. So I think you have your solution for that. Like I don't know, halfway through the race, just jump out and come back in when somebody else is talking, because it seems to have cleared up. It was like nothing at all in the beginning, and then towards as the race went on, you would cut out a couple. Like maybe half a second, like every 10 seconds, and like lately it's just been you've been gone for 5 seconds, like every 5 seconds. So it's fixed now. That seems so. Yeah, that's good. It looks like we got Ryan Marabella coming up next, and let's see what you got for him.
Yeah, let's see if we can't get Riley Marabello in the booth here for just a second, Carlos, but it looks like he may have left the
Oh.
track already. I'm not seeing him available to chat just yet. It may be that he was a little bit upset with the way that race ended there. I'm not seeing him available for an interview just yet there. But I believe, Carlos, we could bring in a driver that we spoke to for just a little bit there before we bring in our overall champion of tonight and our champion for Dash for Cash. We'll bring up Johnny Eckert for a quick take.
He's here. He's here.
Oh, no, we got Riley up there. I see him on the radio. There we go. Bring Riley up into the booth there. And Riley, we thought you had disappeared there for a minute. You're back up on the radio with us, man. And what a way to hold on to that race car there towards the end. We saw you fighting that thing. You bounced off the wall a couple times. The steering might have gone out. It might have gotten really tight on you. You were able to hold on to that race car and come home second here tonight. Take us through your point of view of tonight's race and how were you able to hold on to that thing at the end?
Well, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. All I know is I messed up my pit road entry and put me in second, rode around the dirty air, killed my right front, and finished second.
Yeah, it's still no small feat there, Riley. It's still an awesome race here tonight at Phoenix. You also have a stage victory here tonight as well. So not a total lost bag here in tonight's race. We saw it kind of chaotic and crazy there to start things out, but the last, I'd say, 50 laps or so were straight green flag runs. What did you think of tonight's pace, and what do you think it led to everything just calming down there for a bit?
It was nice for a change. We weeded out all the, I can't say that on here. We weeded out basically, you know what I'm going to say.
All the stuff.
Yeah, we weeded out the stuff, and we were able to get a green flag run, and it was nice for a change, actually, to see the field cycle through with pit stops and all that, and everybody finished out where they finished. So it was cool. I liked it. Like I said, just wish I had a better pit road entry when I went to pit.
Yeah, definitely. I think I said earlier in the broadcast that I really felt like pit strategies was going to come into play here. And although you finished second, I do hear a little bit of a disappointment in your voice here tonight. Did you feel like you had something for Nick and Delicato there at the top? If you could get to him, that you could maybe pass him there at the end?
Honestly, no. I don't think so. When I cycled out behind him, I was like, nothing's happening. I'm just going to ride around in the dirty air.
Right.
I had the right front shredded off. I tried, and then I had a lap car try to pass me on the entrance to turn 3, so I just sent it in wide because I didn't know what the heck he was going to do. And that basically put the final nail in the coffin for me to finish second.
Right. We saw you kind of creeping up there for just a little bit before you kind of bounced off the wall there just a little bit. But we spoke to another driver, Johnny Eckert, who had the same issue there. He had a lot of speed on the track, bounced off the wall a few times, and that really affected his race car there towards the end. How were you able to hold your line there to make sure you come home with that podium finish here tonight? Because it looked like those guys were creeping up on you, but I think that I see that you have a go-kart picture as your profile picture here. Did you feel like a little bit of your real life racing came into play there, the way you were able to hold off guys creeping up on you?
I think so. I've been racing this year. I've got 4 or 5 races under my belt. I don't remember. I think it's 4. 3 wins and a podium, so I guess that's good. But I've learned a lot from there, and it's definitely translated over to the sim somewhat. Like I can kind of plan passes and stuff better now because you got to do it out there since it's just close quarters racing, and actually being able to hang on and change your line and all that. So yeah, it definitely translates. Not exactly the same, but it does translate a little bit.
One thing that I was speaking with the third place finisher there, and one thing I wanted to ask you as well, there was a situation there towards the end of the race where I believe it was the number 20 Home Depot machine that came into the middle between you and the third place car. Did you kind of see that as an advantage? Like if you could use that 20 to try to get in the middle there, you can kind of hold your speed? Or did you just see that as another car on the track?
I saw him as a bit of an advantage, but here's the deal. I don't like it when lap cars just kind of sit there like that. So
Right.
If that happens again, no mercy. Sorry to say. Even if I'm running second, I'm sorry. Look, Nothing against anybody who's a lap down, but like, move, please.
Gotcha, Riley, and looking forward to next week at Vegas. You come into next week with a lot of momentum. Second place finish here tonight. I know it's a little disappointing the way you finished out, but you have a stage victory and you have a top 3 finish heading into next week's race at Vegas. How confident are you heading to that track next week, and how confident are you the rest of the season?
I don't know if I'm gonna run the rest of the season. Actually, I might run only 4 more weeks and then I might be done. But going into Vegas, I think we got a pretty good chance of top 5, maybe, if I can just keep the car under me. I have run a full full season with Next Gens in a league in there, and we ran a lot of mile and a half, so I was good. So I drive better with the Next Gen, better than Gen 6. Like, it fits my driving style more, so I think we got a good shot there, just as long as I save my stuff and we can keep it up front.
Awesome, Riley. And with that podium finish here tonight, we'd love to give you drivers the opportunity to shout out anybody you have watching at home or any sponsors on the side of that race car here tonight.
And fortunately, nobody watching at home, sorry to say. Anyways, Spino Racing, Larson Land, Laugh Lap. Go check them all out on Instagram. Spino Designs, my teammates Sam Brochu, Bear Palamas, Ryan Mitchell, Ryan Hyatt, even though I didn't see much of him this race.
Hey,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say 2 teammates inside the top 3. It's not as disappointing night as you are playing it out to be.
Yep, that's for sure.
Alrighty, Riley. Well, we cannot wait to see you next week here on 3Wide TV at Las Vegas. If you race that race like your teammate Brett did here tonight, I'm sure we'll see you both inside the top 3 at Vegas when it's all said and done. Probably playing the craps tables or a little bit of blackjack when it's all said and done at the end of that. But Riley, we appreciate you taking the time with us here tonight, and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you, Will. You too.
And Carlos, I was very impressed with Riley's ability to hold on to that race car there at the end. The car got really tight on him. He bounced off the wall a few times, but he said he really didn't have anything for our race winner here, Nick Indelicato, who is down in victory lane right now, popping champagne, making it rain dollar bills, because not only is he the Phoenix 150 champion, he is also the Dash for Cash champion, and we have Nick on the radio. Nick, you are the winner here tonight, man. You did it in impressive style. You made that number 4 machine shine as you were going around your white flag lap there. Take us through what led to victory here tonight and how you were able to tame the beast that is Phoenix.
Yeah, overall it was a really good race. Coming in here, we qualified 7th, so I felt decent. I didn't know what I was going to have for long run, but there's a lot of comers and goers up front, and having Riley up there was a ton of fun. And we didn't really battle, but we were kind of nose to tail for a while on that green flag run, and I played the undercut strategy, and it ended up working for me. So, he saved a lot more on that first green flag run, and that's why he started pulling away at the end. And then I think the same thing happened as he got in my dirty air as I did his in the first run, and his right front kind of just fell off there. But overall, a solid, clean run. I'll take the win.
Yeah, Nick, we watched the race kind of play out. It was very chaos and chaotic. We had 10 cautions there to start out this race, but I would say the last 50 or 60 laps it really calmed and cooled. We saw you make that green flag pit stop, climb your way back up through the grid. What did you think about sort of that yin and yang pace of tonight's race, where it was crazy the first half and really calm the second half?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of reminiscent of last week at Daytona. We had a lot of yellows to start out, and you don't see it a lot, but Daytona we went green to the end and had a green flag pit stop. So it kind of just shows, when people work out their kinks here, this league can be really fun, and there's a lot of talented people who can keep it clean. And I think that's the biggest thing, keep it clean, because nowadays when you run official racing and iRacing, it's not a lot of respect. But, tonight, obviously, it was hard racing, but it was clean racing, and we led, there at the end with those green flag runs.
Yeah, it was basically an Italian takeover there for a little bit. I think we had 5 Italians inside the top 5 there, Nick. But one thing I was very impressed with you here tonight, you came in to the race here tonight winning last week, so you came in with a lot of confidence, a lot of momentum, but you really didn't let that get to your head here tonight. You really held your lines, you really held your corners probably running some of the most clean laps, because we spoke to Johnny Eckert, who ran up there with you for a little bit. We spoke with Riley Marabello, who both made contact with that outside wall. How are you able to keep that car so clean here tonight? And is Phoenix one of your favorite tracks the way you raced it here tonight?
No, hitting the wall there, like I said, it was a lot of right front tire wear and trying to guess when to get on the gas. My goal is just to get on the gas as smooth as possible and not slam it, because you can get into that wall really easy with this car. It snaps tight like it's nothing. So, I mean, I think I touched it a couple times, but nothing serious. Overall, I was just trying to save the tires and do what I could. And I made some crazy moves there with the lap cars, but, I did what I needed to do, and it worked out in the end.
Man, as we caught up with you, you were making it rain dollar bills there in victory lane. How good does it feel to be the first Dash for Cash champion here in this series?
It's pretty cool, having a little reward there to go for, and I think that makes it a lot more fun. Even if it's not a lot of money, it's still something, and people, I think, take it a little more seriously. So, pretty cool. I forgot. I don't even know how much it is, but I'll take it whatever it is, and we'll go to next week. I think we have Auto Club or something next week. So, to touch on your last question, Phoenix really isn't. It's kind of very just mid-track for me. I don't really hate it. I don't really like it. So, like I said, coming in here, I'm happy I had speed and just pulled off the right strategy.
I got you, man. Well, you better hold on to some of that cash as we head to Las Vegas next week. How confident are you on that track, and do you think you can hold on? Because I think you've already automatically qualified for the second Dash for Cash, which is going to take place at Auto Club. But first, we have that stop in the Sin City next week. How confident are you heading into that week, and do you think you can make it 3 in a row?
Totally forgot about Vegas. Well, the next 2 tracks, if it is Vegas Auto Club, I think Vegas is my favorite track on iRacing, if I had to say so. But I'm not saying I'm gonna win there, but it's definitely one that is a ton of fun, and I do look forward to, as well as Auto Club. So hopefully, I always tell this to my team. We had Seth Rawls with us tonight. He did his job. Came home with a solid finish. But I always tell my team top 5 is the goal. So next week, top 5 is the goal, and see if we can get that points lead.
Awesome, man. And I see you have a YouTube tag on there, so I'll ask this question as I asked all the podium finishers here tonight. You're the winner of the Phoenix 150, or the Arizona 150, excuse me, as well as the Dash for Cash champion. So with that, I'd love to give you the floor, and I'll ask you if you had anybody at home watching here tonight, and where can people find you if they want to follow you on social media?
If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter, but mainly, if you want to, you should go follow our team, Shift Esports, on Twitter. We're trying to build our team, and we're doing a really good job at it, and our teammates do a really good job week in, week out. So go follow us on Twitter and Instagram, Shift Esports, as well as Sam Drace. Sam Drace is on our car, great friend of mine. He's a freelance motorsports photographer, takes great pictures. Follow him on Instagram, follow him on Twitter. He makes amazing, NASCAR content. He does motorsports photography of everything. So go check him out, follow him on Twitter, Instagram. Help us out a lot, and thank you guys for the broadcast. It really does mean a lot.
Of course, Nick, and thank you for putting on a show there. We know we had you basically take a victory lap there on the white flag, but a huge congratulations from us here at 3Wide TV for not only winning here tonight's race, but also winning the Dash for Cash, and we'll see if you can make it a turkey dinner next week, trying to go for 3 in a row. But have a great rest of your night here, Nick. Have a great rest of your week. Celebrate a little bit with that cash, but as I mentioned, save a little bit for the Sin City next week. But we appreciate it, man, and have congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
And Carlos, I saw you on the Illustrator there for just a second, but what an impressive victory it was out of Nick Indelicato here tonight. I've got his name down pat, because the way he races here in this series, everybody should know his name, the way he's racking up victories.
Yeah, and I honestly thought it was going to be him that was going to get the victory tonight. But a fantastic final pit stop during green flag conditions was able to help put him in a position to get that final win. Riley Marabello gave him a challenge. Unfortunately, used up all his stuff and then some after hitting the wall a couple times. Just wasn't able to just get it done. Finishing second with Barrett, finishing third just right behind him. I felt like Barrett's probably holding back on us here, emotion-wise. I'm sure he was upset with what happened. He probably had that second place finish locked down. But still early on, points can be made and points can be lost. As I look forward to betting it all here next week.
Yes, sir, indeed. But what a race it was for here tonight in the Arizona 150. We had a few drivers race up there inside the top 5. A few drivers that got taken out for in real life events there, Carlos. But man, these first 2 weeks of the season have been crazy. They have been hot. They have been heavy. All the adjectives you want to use here. But I cannot wait for next week here on 3Y TV as we go to the Sin City. And if there's anybody I would bet on, it's Nick and Delicato to go 3 in a row next week, Carlos. And I'll pass it on over to you to close this thing out here tonight.
Yep, thank you everybody for showing up. Thanks to everybody that had a great time. Thank you to all the admins and all the racers out there having fun and doing what needed to be doing and having the correct attitude and mood and just to help make everything possible. Thanks to everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you all next week.